Admiral Patricia Kane sat in the cold metal chair and watched the aliens talk about her people like they were children. The meeting room was huge and made of crystal that hurt her eyes. 12 different alien species sat around a table that looked like it cost more than most human cities. They had been talking for 3 months and Patricia was tired of it all. The saurians looked like giant lizards with sharp teeth. The ethereals were beings made of light that floated above their chairs. The insectoids clicked and buzzed when they talked. All of them thought humans were stupid and weak. Dr. Nathan Cross sat next to Patricia. He was a smart man who studied alien cultures, but even he looked frustrated. Lieutenant Commander Lisa Martinez took notes on her tablet, but Patricia could see the anger in her eyes. "The humans want rights to mine in the Outer Rim," said Ambassador Zethklar, the lead saurian. His voice was deep and mean. "This is funny. Do they think they can handle space mining? They barely know how to fly between stars." The other aliens made sounds that Patricia knew were laughter. The ethereal High Arbiter Velnara glowed brighter, which meant she was amused. "Perhaps we can give them a small asteroid," said another alien. "Something safe for the young species to play with." Patricia's hands tightened into fists under the table. Young species. They called humans that every day, as if Earth's 4 billion people were just babies learning to walk. "The human military is small," continued Zethklar. "They have what? A few hundred ships? My people have thousands. The insectoids have millions. These soft primates should be happy we let them sit at this table." Dr. Cross leaned forward. "Ambassador, with respect, humanity has valuable technology to offer. Our medical advances have helped many worlds. Our agricultural methods have fed hungry populations." Yes. Zethklar waved a clawed hand. "You make good farmers and doctors. Leave the important work to real warriors." The room filled with more alien laughter. Patricia watched them all, the saurians with their scales and pride, the ethereals who thought they were better because they were made of energy, the insectoids who followed orders without thinking, the crystalline beings who never showed emotion, all of them looking down on humans. For 3 months, Patricia had listened to this. Every proposal Earth made was rejected. Every request for fair treatment was denied. Every attempt at equal partnership was mocked. The aliens acted like they were doing humans a favor by letting them breathe the same air. "Earth requests colonization rights in the Delta sector," Patricia said, trying to keep her voice calm. "Denied," said Zethklar without even thinking about it. "That sector is too dangerous for humans. You might hurt yourselves." "We also request equal voting rights on the council," Patricia continued. "Denied. Young species must earn their place over time, perhaps in a few hundred years. We request fair trade agreements for our technology. You will trade on the terms we offer or not at all." Patricia looked around the room. Every alien face showed the same thing. They thought humans were nothing. They thought Earth was a tiny world full of weak creatures who should be grateful for scraps. "Admiral Kane," High Arbiter Velnara spoke, her voice like music. "Your people are new to the galaxy. You must learn patience. The Council has existed for thousands of years. We know what is best." "What is best," Patricia said slowly, "is treating all species with respect." Zethklar laughed out loud. "Respect? You want respect? Your people have been in space for what, 50 years? We have been traveling the stars for millennia. Your weapons are toys. Your ships are slow. Your minds are simple. You should be grateful we allow you to exist in our galaxy." That was it. Patricia felt something break inside her chest. 3 months of insults. 3 months of being treated like a child. 3 months of watching her people's needs ignored, while aliens decided what was best for humanity. She stood up slowly. The room went quiet. All the aliens looked at her with surprise. "Dr. Cross, Commander Martinez," Patricia said in a calm voice. "Pack our materials. We are leaving." "Admiral," Nathan Cross looked confused. "You heard me. We are done here." Zethklar laughed again. "Where are you going, little human? Back to your little blue world to cry?" Patricia reached into her uniform and pulled out a small device. She activated it and a red light began to blink. "I am Admiral Patricia Kane of the United Earth Federation. I am making an official statement for the record." The aliens watched with amusement as Patricia spoke clearly into the recorder. "The United Earth Federation formally withdraws from these peace talks. We will not return to this table under the current conditions. We came here seeking fair treatment and partnership. Instead, we found arrogance and disrespect. This is our final diplomatic courtesy to the Galactic Council." Patricia turned off the recorder and put it away. "Commander Martinez, contact our ship. We leave in 1 hour." "Admiral Kane," High Arbiter Velnara said, her light flickering. "This is unwise. The Council offers protection and guidance. Without us, humanity will struggle alone in a dangerous galaxy." Patricia looked at the floating being of light. "We will manage." "You cannot survive without the Council," Zethklar said, standing up to his full height. "You need our trade routes. You need our protection. Your little ships cannot defend your little world." Patricia smiled for the first time in months. It was not a happy smile. "Ambassador Zethklar, you have made many assumptions about humanity. I suggest you be more careful about assumptions in the future." Dr. Cross and Commander Martinez gathered their files and tablets. The three humans walked toward the door while the aliens watched in shock. No species had ever walked away from the Galactic Council before. "You will be back," Zethklar called after them. "When pirates attack your ships, when your colonies fail, when you realize how small you really are, you will come back begging for our help." Patricia stopped at the door and turned around one last time. Her eyes were cold as ice. "No," she said, quietly. "We will not." The door closed behind the humans with a soft sound. The aliens sat in silence for a moment, then began to laugh and joke about emotional humans and their primitive pride. They had no idea what they had just done. They had no idea what was coming. 3 months passed since the humans left the peace talks. At first, the aliens thought it was funny. They made jokes about emotional humans and their hurt feelings. They said the humans would come back soon, begging to rejoin the talks. But the humans did not come back. Ambassador Zethklar sat in his office on the council station, reading reports that made him uncomfortable. Human trade ships had stopped coming to alien ports. The medical supplies that Earth provided were running low on several worlds. The food shipments from human agricultural colonies had ended completely. "This is strange," he said to his assistant. "The humans always traded with everyone. Now they trade with no one." High Arbiter Velnara called an emergency meeting. The council members gathered in the crystal chamber, but this time they were not laughing. "We have a problem," Velnara announced, her light flickering with worry. "Human space has gone completely silent. No ships, no messages, no contact at all." "Good," said War Marshal Krendox, a large insectoid with sharp claws. "Let them hide in their little corner of space. We do not need them." But Captain Court of the Trade Guild looked worried. "We do need them. Human medicine cured the plague. On 3 of my worlds, human food feeds millions of people. Human technology makes our ships run better." "They will come back," Zethklar said, but he did not sound sure anymore. Then the strange reports started coming in. A Saurian merchant ship tried to enter human space to pick up medical supplies. They were met by unknown vessels that appeared on their sensors but could not be seen. A calm human voice told them to leave immediately. When they refused, their ship's engines stopped working. They had to call for rescue. An insectoid mining fleet tried to claim an asteroid in what used to be neutral space. 3 human ships appeared from nowhere, politely told them the asteroid was now in human territory, and escorted them out. The mining fleet could not understand how the human ships had gotten so close without being detected. A crystalline research vessel lost contact with their deep space station. When they went to investigate, they found the station empty but undamaged. All their equipment was gone. Security cameras showed nothing, but there were human footprints in the dust. On Earth, President Victoria Hayes sat in a secure bunker, deep underground. Around her were the most important people in human government and military. The room was full of screens showing star maps and fleet positions. Report, she said to General Marcus Thompson. The general was a big man with gray hair and serious eyes. Operation Dark Harbor is complete, Madam President. All human assets have been withdrawn to our defensive perimeter. The Ghost Fleet is in position. President Hayes nodded. Dr. Rodriguez, what is the status of our new technologies? Dr. Elena Rodriguez was a small woman with bright eyes who looked too young to be in charge of Earth's most secret projects. The quantum stealth systems are working perfectly. Our ships are invisible to all known scanning methods. The new plasma weapons can cut through any armor we have tested. Most importantly, the jump drive project is a complete success. Explain the jump drive, President Hayes asked. We no longer need the alien jump gates to travel between stars. Our ships can go anywhere instantly without using their controlled routes. We are completely independent of their transportation network. General Thompson pulled up a holographic map of space. We have been building in secret for 3 years while playing nice at the peace talks. 43 hidden mining operations, 67 research stations, 250 warships that officially do not exist. President Hayes looked at the map. Red dots showed human positions throughout the galaxy. There were far more than anyone suspected. The aliens think we have a few hundred old ships, General Thompson continued. They do not know about the Ghost Fleet. They do not know about our new weapons. They do not know about our real industrial capacity. Captain Jake Morrison stepped forward. He was young for a ship captain, but his eyes were hard from years of secret missions. My reconnaissance teams have been gathering intelligence on every council species for 2 years. We know their military capabilities, their weak points, their supply lines. They know nothing about ours. What about their reaction to our withdrawal? President Hayes asked. Commander Ashley Blake, head of intelligence, answered. They are confused and starting to worry. Trade disruptions are causing problems on 17 worlds. Several species are asking questions about human capabilities. The Council is trying to maintain control, but cracks are showing. President Hayes stood up and walked to the big screen showing Earth from space. For 3 months, we listened to them call us children. We let them think we were weak and stupid. We smiled and nodded while they planned to treat us like pets. She turned back to face the room. They made one mistake. They thought being nice meant being weak. They thought wanting peace meant we could not fight. They were wrong. General Thompson smiled grimly. What are your orders, Madam President? Begin Phase 2. Establish complete territorial control. Any alien vessel that enters human space without permission is to be turned away. Use minimum force, but make our message clear. And if they test us? Captain Morrison asked. President Hayes's eyes were cold as steel. Then they will learn what humans are really capable of. Dr. Rodriguez spoke up. Madam President, what if they send a large fleet to force us back to negotiations? The president smiled, but it was not a kind smile. Doctor, I hope they do. It will make the lesson much clearer. Across the galaxy, human ships moved silently through space. They were invisible to alien sensors, faster than alien vessels, and armed with weapons no one had ever seen. The aliens thought they were dealing with a few hundred primitive ships, defending one small world. They had no idea that humanity had spread throughout the galaxy like a shadow, building strength while appearing weak. They had no idea that Earth's military was not defending just one world, but protecting a growing human empire that stretched across dozens of star systems. Most importantly, they had no idea that their 3 months of silence had not been spent, crying or begging. Humanity had used those 3 months to prepare for war. The aliens were about to learn a hard lesson about underestimating humans. And the lesson was coming soon. Fleet Commander Kixtall stood on the bridge of his massive warship and felt proud. Behind him flew the largest alien fleet ever assembled. 200 ships from 6 different species, all armed and ready for battle. The Galactic Council had finally decided to teach the humans a lesson. Stupid humans, Kixtall clicked to his second-in-command. His insect voice was full of anger. 3 months of silence, 3 months of ignoring the council. We will show them what happens when children refuse to obey their elders. The fleet moved through space toward human territory. Saurian battleships with heavy armor and big guns. Ethereal energy vessels that could burn through metal with light beams. Insectoid swarm ships designed to overwhelm enemies with numbers. Crystalline ships with shields that could stop almost any weapon. Ambassador Zethklar was on the command ship, watching the fleet advance. "This will bring them back to the talks," he said with satisfaction. "When they see our power, they will remember their place." "Sir," reported the sensor officer, "we are approaching the edge of human space. I detect 3 small ships ahead." On the main screen appeared 3 human vessels. They looked old and simple compared to the alien warships. Each ship was maybe 1/10 the size of Kixtal's flagship. "3 ships?" Kixtal laughed, his mandibles clicking with amusement. "They send 3 tiny ships against our mighty fleet? These humans are even more foolish than I thought." The communication system crackled to life. A human voice spoke calmly and clearly. "Alien fleet, you are entering United Earth Federation territory. Turn around immediately and return to Council space." Kixtal and the other alien commanders burst into laughter. "Human vessel," Kixtal replied. "You are facing 200 warships of the Galactic Council. Surrender immediately and prepare to escort us to Earth for renewed diplomatic discussions." "You have 30 seconds to reverse course," the human voice repeated, still calm. "Or what?" Zethklar demanded over the comm. "Your 3 little ships will attack our entire fleet?" The human voice belonged to Admiral Patricia Kane, though the aliens did not know this. She sat on the bridge of the UES Phantom Strike, completely invisible to alien sensors. Around her, 50 of humanity's most advanced warships waited in perfect silence. 20 seconds, Admiral Kane said quietly. "This is ridiculous," Kixtal told his crew. "Charge all weapons. We will disable these ships and drag them back to Earth as prizes." 10 seconds. The alien fleet began powering up their weapons. Energy. Signatures lit up space as hundreds of weapon systems came online. The 3 small human ships just floated there, apparently helpless. 5 seconds. "Fire warning shots," Kixtal ordered. "Show them we mean business." "Time's up," Admiral Kane said. What happened next would be talked about for generations. The 3 human ships that the aliens had been looking at suddenly flickered and disappeared. They had been holographic projections, nothing more than light and mirrors. At the same moment, 50 human warships decloaked in perfect formation around the alien fleet. They appeared from empty space like ghosts becoming solid. The aliens found themselves surrounded by ships they had never seen on their sensors. "Impossible," whispered Kixtal. Where did they come from? The human ships were sleek and dangerous looking. They moved with perfect coordination, like dancers performing a deadly ballet. Each ship was smaller than the alien battleships, but they radiated menace and advanced technology. "Alien fleet." Admiral Kane's voice came from everywhere. "At once, you are surrounded. Power down your weapons immediately." "Never," Kixtal shouted. "All ships fire at will. Destroy these human dogs." The alien fleet opened fire with everything they had. Plasma beams, energy bolts, missile salvos, and exotic weapons lit up space with deadly light. It was enough firepower to destroy a planet. But the human ships moved like nothing the aliens had ever seen. They twisted and spun through the weapons fire as if they could see the future. Energy beams passed harmlessly through empty space where human ships had been a split second before. Then the humans fired back. Blue-white beams lanced out from the human ships. They were not like any weapon the aliens knew. The beams passed right through alien shields as if they were not there. They struck alien weapon systems with surgical precision, destroying guns and missile launchers without damaging the ships themselves. In less than 5 minutes, the entire alien fleet was helpless. Their weapons were gone. Their engines were dead. Their shields were down. They could only receive communications, not send them. Not a single alien had been killed. Not one ship had been destroyed. But the most powerful fleet in Council history had been defeated without landing a single hit on the enemy. Admiral Kane's voice filled the silent space. "Commanders of the alien fleet, you have been defeated. Your weapons are disabled. Your engines are offline. You are alive because we chose to let you live." The alien ships drifted helplessly in space. Inside them, proud warriors sat in shock. They had never imagined such technology existed. "You will return to Council Space," Admiral Kane continued. "You will deliver this recording to your leaders. You will tell them that humanity is no longer interested in their version of diplomacy. Any future military incursions into human territory will be met with significantly less restraint." A data packet was transmitted to every alien ship. It contained the complete recording of the battle, along with detailed scans of human technology that the aliens could not understand. "Your ship's engines will restart in 1 hour," Admiral Kane announced. "Use that time to think about what you have learned here today. The next lesson will not be so gentle." One by one, the human ships vanished again, disappearing from sensors, as if they had never existed. The alien fleet was left alone in empty space, their pride shattered and their confidence destroyed. Fleet Commander Kixtal sat in his command chair and stared at the stars. Around him, his crew worked quietly to repair what systems they could. No one spoke. No one wanted to admit what had just happened. The most powerful military force in the galaxy had been swatted aside like insects by a species they thought was primitive and weak. The long journey home would give them plenty of time to think about their mistake. The Galactic Council chamber had never been so loud. 12 different species shouted and argued in their own languages, while the recording of the human demonstration played over and over on the main screen. The crystal walls seemed to shake with the noise. High Arbiter Velnara floated above the chaos, her light flickering rapidly with stress. She had been the Council's leader for 300 years, but she had never seen anything like this. The most powerful fleet in the galaxy had been defeated in minutes by a species everyone thought was weak. "This is impossible," roared War Marshal Krendox, slamming his clawed fist on the table. "Humans cannot have this technology. They are a young species." Ambassador Zethklar sat quietly in his chair, staring at nothing. He had been on the command ship when the human fleet appeared from empty space. He had watched his people's weapons pass harmlessly through human shields. He had felt the ship shake when the blue beams destroyed their guns without touching anything else. "The recording must be fake," insisted Chancellor Vex of the Crystalline Collective. "These humans are trying to scare us with tricks and illusions." "I was there," Zethklar said quietly. His voice was so soft that the chamber fell silent to hear him. "It was real. All of it." Fleet Commander Kixtal stood up slowly. The proud insectoid warrior looked like he had aged 10 years in the past. "Weak. My sensors recorded everything. The human ships were invisible to our detection systems. Their weapons passed through our best shields like they were not there. Their movements were faster than anything we have ever seen." "How?" demanded several voices at once. Intelligence reports started flooding in from across the galaxy. Agent Carl Peterson had been working undercover in human space for 2 years, sending back information about human activities. His final report made everyone in the chamber feel cold with fear. "According to Agent Peterson," read Intelligence Chief Mordak, "humans have been mining operations in over 40 star systems. They have built hidden research facilities in places we thought were empty space. They have been developing advanced technology while pretending to be interested only in peaceful cooperation." The chamber erupted in angry voices again. "Spies! Liars! Betrayers!" High Arbiter Velnara demanded silence. "Continue the report." "Human industrial capacity appears to rival our own," Mordak continued. "They have been building ships and weapons in secret while attending our peace talks. Most disturbing of all, they have been sharing medical technology and agricultural methods with other species while keeping their military innovations completely hidden. That explains the medical supplies," said Captain Court of the Trade Guild. "Human medicine has saved millions of lives across the galaxy. We thought they were just good doctors. We never suspected they were also advanced weapons manufacturers. The humans played us for fools," Zethklar said bitterly. "While we laughed at them and called them children, they were studying us, learning our weaknesses, preparing for this moment." War Marshal Krendox stood up, his insect wings buzzing with rage. "Then we attack them with everything we have. Gather every ship from every world. Show these humans what real power looks like." "With what?" asked Captain Court. The battle. Recording shows that human technology is decades ahead of ours. Their stealth systems make our sensors useless. Their weapons make our shields meaningless. Their ships are faster and more maneuverable than anything we have. We have numbers, Krendox insisted. They cannot have more than a few hundred ships. Intelligence. Chief Mordak cleared his throat. According to our analysis of the battle data, the humans had at least 50 advanced warships in that engagement. Our deep space monitoring stations have detected unusual activity in over 60 star systems. Conservative estimates suggest they may have over 1,000 ships we have never seen. The chamber fell silent. 1,000 ships with that level of technology could defeat any fleet the Council could assemble. There is more bad news, continued Mordak. Economic analysis shows that human trade has become essential to 17 different worlds. Human medical technology has eliminated plagues on 6 planets. Human agricultural techniques feed populations on 12 worlds. If they cut off all trade permanently, millions of people will suffer. Chancellor Vex's crystal body pulsed with anger. They planned this. They made themselves necessary while building their military in secret. They wanted us to become dependent on them. We should negotiate, said Ambassador Zethklar. Swallow our pride and ask for talks. Never. War Marshal Krendox buzzed furiously. We are the Galactic Council. We have ruled this galaxy for thousands of years. We do not bow to upstart humans. Then what do you suggest? Asked High Arbiter Velnara. Our military is inferior. Our economy depends on their trade. Our medical supplies are running low. 3 member species have already withdrawn from the Council to seek independent relationships with humanity. This was the worst news of all. The Aquatic Federation, the Silicon Builders, and the Gas Giant Collective had all announced they were leaving the Council. They wanted to make their own deals with the humans. They are abandoning us, whispered someone in the chamber. Dr. Nathan Cross appeared on the main screen. The human xenobiologist looked calm and professional, but his presence made every alien in the chamber nervous. Honored Council members, Dr. Cross said politely, I bring greetings from the United Earth Federation. I am here as an unofficial observer to monitor the situation. Observer? High Arbiter Velnara's light flared with indignation. You are here to spy on us. I am here to watch, Dr. Cross corrected gently. My government wants to know how the Council responds to recent events. Our next actions will depend on your decisions. The message was clear. Humanity was no longer asking for permission or seeking approval. They were watching and waiting to see what the Council would do. The power relationship had completely reversed. What do the humans want? Asked Zethklar tiredly. Dr. Cross smiled sadly. That, Ambassador, is no longer your decision to make. The Council had its chance to treat humanity as equals. That opportunity has passed. The screen went dark, leaving the Council members alone with their fear and confusion. The galaxy had changed forever, and they were no longer in control. 6 months after the demonstration, High Arbiter Velnara stood alone in her private chamber. Through the crystal walls, she could see alien ships leaving the Council station. Every day, more species abandoned the Council to make their own deals with humanity. The Aquatic Federation had signed a trade agreement with Earth last month. The Silicon Builders were sharing technology with human scientists. The Gas Giant Collective had opened their borders to human exploration ships. 3 more species were preparing to leave the Council entirely. Velnara's light dimmed with sadness. For thousands of years, the Galactic Council had been the center of power in the galaxy. Now they were becoming irrelevant, and it was all because they had underestimated one small blue world. A message appeared on her communication system. It was from President Victoria Hayes of the United Earth Federation. The message was simple and polite, but it changed everything. High Arbiter Velnara, the United Earth Federation is willing to meet with Council representatives to discuss future relationships. The meeting will take place on Haven Station in human space. You may bring 3 advisors. Please respond within 48 hours. Velnara stared at the message for a long time. The humans were offering to talk, but on their terms, in their space with their rules. The council was being invited like guests instead of treated as the galaxy's rulers. But what choice did they have? 2 days later, Velnara arrived at Haven Station with Ambassador Zethklar, Intelligence Chief Mordak, and Captain Court. The human space station was beautiful and advanced, with technology the aliens had never seen before. Human ships moved through space around the station like silver fish in a vast ocean. President Hayes met them in a conference room that looked out at the stars. She was a small woman with gray hair and kind eyes, but when she spoke, her voice carried the authority of an entire species. "Welcome to Haven Station," President Hayes said warmly. "Please sit down. We have much to discuss." Admiral Patricia Kane stood beside the president. She looked exactly the same as when she had walked out of the council chamber 6 months ago, but now the aliens knew what kind of power she commanded. "Before we begin," President Hayes continued, "I want to make something clear. Humanity will not return to the old council structure. We will not sit at a table where we are treated as children. We will not accept the role of junior partners in our own galaxy." Velnara's light flickered nervously. "What do you propose instead?" "Individual relationships," Admiral Kane answered. "Any species that wants diplomatic or trade relations with humanity must approach Earth directly. You must negotiate with us as equals. You must treat our people with respect." Ambassador Zethklar shifted uncomfortably in his chair. "And if we refuse?" President Hayes smiled gently. "Then you refuse. Humanity will not force anyone to work with us, but we will also not beg for acceptance anymore." Captain Court leaned forward. "What about trade? Our worlds need human medical supplies and food technology." "Trade relationships are available," Admiral Kane said, "but they must be fair agreements between equals. The days of dictating terms to humanity are over." Dr. Elena Rodriguez entered the room carrying a datapad. The small scientist looked excited about something. "Madam President, the first wave of exploration ships has returned from beyond the outer rim." President Hayes nodded. "What did they find?" 17 new star systems suitable for colonization. 3 of them have planets that could support alien life as well as human life. Captain Morrison's team also discovered deposits of rare minerals we have never seen before. The aliens listened in shock. While they had been arguing about humans in their galaxy, humanity had already moved beyond the known galaxy to explore new regions of space. Intelligence. Chief Mordak spoke quietly. "How far beyond the rim did your ships travel?" "Our new jump drive technology allows us to go anywhere instantly," Dr. Rodriguez replied. "Distance is no longer a limitation for human exploration." The aliens realized that humanity was not just independent from the Council, they were becoming the dominant exploratory force in the galaxy. While alien species fought over old territories, humans were claiming new worlds in unexplored space. "We want to rebuild our relationship with humanity," Velnara said finally. "The Saurian Republic, the Insectoid Hive, the Ethereal Collective. We were wrong to treat your people as inferior." President Hayes studied the floating being of light. Ambassador Zethklar was particularly insulting during the peace talks. Why should we trust him now? Zethklar stood up slowly. The proud Saurian warrior looked ashamed. "President Hayes, Admiral Kane, I was a fool. I let my pride blind me to your people's capabilities. I called you soft primates who could not survive a real conflict. I was completely wrong." He bowed his head in a gesture of respect that no alien had ever shown to a human before. "I ask for the chance to prove that I can learn from my mistakes. Let me be the first alien ambassador to Earth. Let me help rebuild the relationship between our peoples." Admiral Kane looked at President Hayes. The president considered for a long moment, then nodded. "Very well, Ambassador Zethklar. You may open a Saurian embassy on Earth, but understand this. Any disrespect toward human citizens or human culture will end the relationship immediately." "I understand," Zethklar said humbly. "Thank you for this opportunity." Over the following weeks, other species began approaching humanity individually. The Crystalline Collective wanted to study human technology. The gas giant collective offered mining rights in exchange for medical supplies. The Aquatic Federation proposed joint exploration missions. Each species had to negotiate separately, as equals, with respect and humility. The old council structure was dead. In its place grew a network of individual relationships with humanity. At the center, Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his exploration ship, watching human vessels spread across the galaxy. Behind him, alien ships requested permission to enter human space. The galaxy that had once mocked humanity, now, sought their approval and partnership. Dr. Cross had been right months ago when he said the Council's opportunity had passed. But from the ashes of the old system, something better was growing. A galaxy where respect was earned, not demanded. Where strength was balanced with wisdom. Where humanity's greatest victory was not the demonstration of their weapons, but their willingness to walk away from a bad deal to create a better one. The young species had grown up, and the galaxy would never be the same.